All right, everybody. Well, now we've had the chance to meet, so we're a little bit more acquainted, and I'm really happy that you're over here on the next video in Module 1, our introduction, and that is, what is a social media manager? So, what does a social media manager do anyway? Let's dive into that so that you guys have a really good idea of what your job or your role as a social media manager is going to be when you finish this training. Before we can really talk about what a social media manager is, we should clearly understand and know what social media is, because a social media manager is someone who manages the social media, right? So a social media is, basically any form of electronic communication through which users create online communities. Okay, so it's a community, a digital online community, and the users share information, ideas, or personal messages or other content. Content can be photos, videos, music, check-ins. There's all different types of content, and you'll learn about that in the course. So electronic communities where these personal messages and this content and ideas are shared. In other more simpler words, they're generally internet-based applications, right? That's what allows the connection between people from near and far. And these internet-based applications allow the creation and the exchange of that content that we just talked about. So that encompasses a lot of different types of social media. That includes everything from bookmarking pages that you see on the internet to blogging and journaling about your business or your life to creating videos that people can comment on and share to, the ones that you're familiar with, the social networks like Facebook, MySpace, right? You guys have heard about those. Customer review networks where people can leave reviews about businesses. Everything from Yelp and Google Plus, which is, going to be talked about. Photo sharing networks, and on and on and on. All of these are electronic communities. They're internet-based applications where the users get to create and share content and chat with each other. And they serve a lot of different purposes, and they cover a lot of different media. But they all have those basic fundamentals in common. So a social media manager is a person who is going to manage those, not only the platform itself, but the individual communications and potentially the content as well that you're sending and receiving and sharing and discussing on the social networks. That is what a social media manager does. So I just mentioned some of these, just again, so you know some of the different types of categories of social media. You have social networking, which generally includes profiles and friends or connections. You have social news sites like Dig and Reddit, and these also could be bookmarking sites. A lot of these could be classified in more than one category, but what makes them social news is that the users vote on the articles. And so the most popular articles and the most popular news get voted to the top of sites like Dig and Reddit. And so people getting to the front page there is an act of being voted up by your community, your online community. You've probably heard of YouTube, I assume. That is a video sharing site and social media platform, and Instagram is super popular right now. Photo sharing, social media, social bookmarking, a place to save or scrapbook all the things that you find out on the web. You've got StumbleUpon is a super popular one that drives a lot of traffic, and another one, the queen of the visual web, is Pinterest as a social bookmarking platform. You have podcasting, and so you have sites like Blog Talk Radio and others that allow podcasters to share their podcasts and comment and discuss and talk with one another. So Blog Talk Radio is for sharing podcasts. Blogging, which is something we're definitely going to discuss in this course. You can use platforms like Tumblr and WordPress, where you can share your short journal articles and people can leave comments. They can also share them on their social media profiles. Micro blogging sites like Twitter, where you're still sharing a blog type message, but it's in a short number of characters, like 140 characters on Twitter. Collaborative media, I'm sure you guys have searched and come up with a Wikipedia page. Those pages are collaborated on, and they're edited and moderated by the communities of Wikipedia. So that's why, you have to kind of sometimes be careful about the information that you get off Wikipedia, because not even necessarily experts, are the ones that are contributing. Just the community at large can contribute. Now, they do have some moderation and fact-checking moderators, but collaborative media like Wikipedia exists out there. Google Docs is another great example of a media that you can publish online that's editable by a group of people. I mentioned the review sites like Yelp, where people can go and say what their experience is. You can do this, of course, on Facebook and on Google+, which are considered other types of social media, but customer reviews are a part of the fabric of what makes social media work for business. Forums, one popular forum in the marketing community anyway is called the Warrior Forum. There's many forums out there in many different niches, and if you end up ever having a client that's in a very specialized niche where you don't think there are people actually talking about that topic out in social media, I guarantee you will find most likely a niched forum on that topic. It may not be, a big community on some of the bigger sites like Facebook or Twitter talking about something, but there will be smaller niched forum communities where that specific topic is all that they talk about. And then you have location-based social networks like Foursquare, and there are some others where people can check in when they're standing in a physical location, and they can, share something about that. They can share a photo or a tip or a review, and then they can share that out to, their networks on Foursquare or their other social media networks on other social media sites that integrate with Foursquare. So, I have a lot of people ask me, and you may still be wondering, even this far into the training, why should you become a social media manager? Well, first of all, I think we can all agree that social media has become a fabric of the everyday part of life. It's no longer just something that people think of as a fad for teenagers. It's not going away anytime soon. And it has become a very important tool for businesses, and businesses know this. And they know that they need to be in social media, and they don't want to be left behind. But the problem is that they don't really know how exactly to make it all work just yet. Another benefit of social media marketing for businesses is that it is a low cost, it is affordable, it is approachable way to start marketing online. So even businesses that really aren't online yet have an opportunity to come online and to start marketing their products and services to a new type of customer that is internet savvy by getting into social media. So it's a great place for beginner online marketing, okay? Like I mentioned before, the problem is that, there's so much information out there about all the do's and don'ts, how to make your social media marketing effective. And in the old days, all you really had to do was post a bunch of cat pictures. But, that really just doesn't cut it anymore to be a cool business in social media. So there are a lot of businesses out there that desperately need your help. And these are the types of businesses that you know and you buy from every day. You might drive through and get your coffee there every morning, or drop off your dry cleaning, or leave your kids at daycare. All of these businesses are looking to expand and reach new customers, and they've heard of social media, and they're just waiting desperately for someone to come along and teach them how to do it. So if you have any doubt, let me confirm for you that now is the time to start your social media manager business. If this is something that you truly want to do and something that you truly see a future for yourself in, now is the time. So let's really jump in then and say, what does a social media manager do? Well, first, I want to give you an example. I hear a lot of people give the analogy that social media is like one big cocktail party. And they say that because, your friends you meet some friends and they invite you over to their house for an evening dinner party or a cocktail party, and they invite a bunch of their other friends over too. And not all the times does everybody know each other, so there's a little bit of getting to know each other process. But generally, you're connected through the host at least. So you know there's going to be a group of people that probably have some similar interests or something in common with you because you both know the host. So if that's the example that people give when they're trying to explain what social media marketing is, then a social media marketing manager would be the party planner, right? In that scenario, they would be the party planner. And the reason that you're the party planner is because here's the things that a party planner does. Party planner is the silent partner to the host. They are invisible to all of their guests, right? So the guests don't really notice the party planner at all. They're just completely invisible. They are behind the scenes, but the person that the guests do notice is the host. And the host shines. The host looks good. The host is able to relax and connect with their guests, and they're able to really shine and throw a great party. And the reason that they're able to shine and look so good and connect and, have their party be a success is because their party planner was behind the scenes handling all the important details, all the little unexpected things that came up, making sure all that the food came out the right time, the invitations were sent to the correct addresses. They handled all of those little important details so that the host could not have to worry about that. The host could be taken care of, and the host was free to just, be, the host. So if I'm interpreting that for you, the social media manager being the host means the social media manager is the person who is going to post on behalf of a company to their social media profiles. But when they do, they are completely invisible. It is the company that is posting. Just like the party planner is invisible and it looks like the host is the one who sent out the invitations. The social media manager is going to coordinate and distribute all the content. They are going to be the one to interact directly with customers that have questions, that try to reach out through social media. And so the thing that you really should know is that you as a social media manager will represent your client in all of their social interactions. Whether you initiate it or whether the client initiates it, however the conversation happens in social media, the customer doesn't even see you, they just see the company. So your skills, the skills that you're going to need, these two skills are required of every social media manager in order to be successful and enjoy the work that you do. So the first skill that you need is a good basic understanding of all of the social media platforms. And the good news is you're in the right place because you're going to get that and more in this social media manager training. The second thing that you need is the ability to naturally converse, and you should enjoy being social. Now, if you don't, it doesn't mean that you can't be a social media manager. In my opinion, it just means that you won't enjoy being a social media manager as much. And we all know that when you're doing something that you don't enjoy, that you have less fun doing it and you're less successful at doing it. But I highly recommend that you take a look at some of the tips and tricks and some of the strategies that I'm going to teach you in this training to understand the way conversation flows in social media. And perhaps you might end up finding out that you actually do enjoy being social online. There is a little teeny bit of a difference from being social face-to-face and being social online. And so some introverts really do find success in social media because they enjoy the fact that they're behind the computer screen. So I don't say these things necessarily to scare you off. I just want to be honest and upfront with you about what it's going to take to be successful in your social media manager business. Now, some helpful skills. These skills are not required, but they will help you be successful if you have them. The first one is, there it is. It's being helpful. If you enjoy being helpful, that will help you be successful as a social media manager. If you are inquisitive and you ask a lot of questions, if you like to figure things out, if you're very curious, that will help you as the technology changes, as strategies change, as tactics change. The most inquisitive people that are trying to see almost, how they can break things or how they can test and try new things and what will work and what doesn't work. All of these proactive things that if you can bring those to the table instead of waiting for someone else to always generate them for you, you will find more success as a social media manager. One question a lot of people ask me is, do I have to be a technology whiz to be a social media manager? And the truth is, no, you don't. But it's helpful if you know already how to navigate around your email, a Word document, maybe a PowerPoint. It does help if you have some level of proficiency with using a computer and using technology. That will be helpful for you. Again, if you're not, don't worry. We're going to teach you some of that here in this course. But you want to have confidence with it, okay? So you want to practice and you want to get good with it so that you have confidence. Now, more and more and more, it's getting very important for you to have a good eye for design. So understanding what is good design, what looks good online. You want to go out and look at a lot of the most popular websites today and see what are they doing. And why are they doing that with their visual design and their user interface? So a good eye for design is again helpful, not a must, but it is helpful because you will be interfacing between designers. If you're not one, you will be interfacing with graphic designers because social media is becoming increasingly visual. So that's just something to keep in mind. And an understanding of online business and the role that social media plays is super helpful. And this is something that even after the social media manager training that you're taking right now, once you're finished with it, that you're going to want to continue to evolve and understand all of the different aspects of online marketing and how social media plays into it. We will give you a good introduction to that in this course so you will understand and be able to go out and get those very, very first clients. But there are many ways to promote a product or service online using many different types of technologies, not just social media. And so it's important for you as you begin to give advice to your clients that you understand what all of the players in the game are, because I feel like then you'll be able to give the best advice. Now, these skills are not essential, but if you have them, they will help you as a specialist. They will give you that extra edge where you will be able to charge more as a social media manager, and you will be more valuable to your clients as a social media manager. And those skills are writing. If you are a good writer, you will be able to contribute blog content, perhaps website content, and good social media content to your clients, and that will make you a very valuable specialist in the social media space. If you are an advanced technologist, you understand web design or web building, or something like search engine optimization, or as I mentioned, any of the other types of online marketing, you will have that extra edge with your clients, and you will have that extra specialty, and you will find that will help you land clients a little bit easier and make a little more money when you do. So these are not essential, but they're definitely a plus. And of course, the last one, which I kind of already mentioned, was design. Especially now, good social media managers that know their way around graphic design and Photoshop. These social media managers are in demand right now. And so this is a skill that if you want to combine your social media management skills with something else, then learning a little bit about design is something that I would recommend. You're going to be filling roles, everything from customer support to helping create content, to building their brand and their awareness, to help managing their reputation online and what people are saying about them. You'll be an outreach and business development specialist, whether you're trying to connect with media, whether you're trying to connect with people that are influential, or just find some strategic partners for your clients. That is a role that you will be filling. And one of the most important roles that you will fill as a social media manager is a project manager role. You are the person who is the front line of communication between everything that's happening with their online marketing. So you're the person who's staying on the cutting edge and filtering the news. You're the person who's coordinating teams and prioritizing task lists and making recommendations about what your client should do next. So the social media manager wears many, many roles with their clients. So now, knowing all of this, I ask you, are you ready to jump in? Are you ready to get started and learn what it takes to be a social media manager? If you are, then here's what you need to do. I recommend that you watch this entire training and that you watch every single module and every single video at least one time. You may have to watch it 2 or 3 times to grasp everything because there's a lot of information. Use the checklists that I give you throughout the training and the resources I give you as a guide. You want to make sure that you don't miss anything, and so I've provided a training checklist for you so you know what every video is, where every handout is, and that's coming in the very next video that you're going to watch after this one, okay? You may want to start a binder or a notebook for yourself to take notes. And if you're tech savvy and you use your iPad or you use something like Evernote on a laptop or a smartphone, feel free to do that because you want to take notes and remember things, write down things that you want to come back to. So set up your profiles then and practice. What I've said before about my most successful social media managers is that they immediately got busy implementing. So you might watch the videos once, you may watch a video, and then you may go practice what you learned in the video. Whether you're setting up your own accounts, whether you're setting up your first client accounts, or whether you're just setting up test accounts for a potential client or a fake client that you made up. The point is to actually go implement and practice what you learn. If you don't do that and you just watch the videos, then I can't promise you any kind of success. And absolutely, the most important thing is you won't have a business until you go get your first client. So if you're nervous about that part, start working on your confidence now because you can watch all of these videos and learn everything in this training, but you will not be in business until you get your very first client. As a matter of fact, I have some students who buy the training, go get their client, and then watch the videos. It's a perfectly acceptable way to do it. Heck, I did not have these videos when I started my business. I just got a client and I kind of winged it a little bit. So I recommend that you take that approach and you know that, one of the things that you are going to focus on very, very quickly is going out and getting that very first client. And I promise you it's not as difficult as you think. I'm going to give you many tips for doing that and places to look to find them. So don't worry about that. Just know that that's when you're in business. When you land that first client, you make that first dollar, that's when your business actually starts. I look forward to celebrating that day with you. So now is the time to go watch that video where I'm going to show you where everything in the training is, and I'm going to give you the checklist with the site overview. So you'll know where every module is and what we're going to cover and what videos you should watch and what handouts you need in order to complete the entire Let's Get Social training. So go watch video module 1, video 3. It's the site overview video, and grab your first handout, which is the site overview checklist right now.